Welcome to the studio, Daniel.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
So you are putting together a show called Spring Queening.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Spring Queening is it's the first time that drag has ever come to the Tri-Cities. It was really important to me. As a drag queen for 17 years, I've been doing this for quite some time. And when I moved to the Tri-Cities, I found that there was a lack of really things to do for people who might want something out of the box. So I spent some time in early last year canvassing, determining if there was going to be an audience, and approached the Evergreen Cultural Center and David Mann, and they agreed to allow us into their cultural center, and it's been go since then.
Amazing. So what was the inspiration behind putting together this show, and are you looking at future opportunities to bring this to Coquitlam and to the Tri-Cities?
Yeah, the inspiration really was that when I moved to Coquitlam, I found there wasn't a lot for people who might be interested in drag to go and see. There was obviously Vancouver and New Westminster hosts a lot. And when I came out here, I was actually invited to do a show out in Mission, which I found was so odd at first. But when you get out there and you see that there's so many people in these rural communities who are interested in drag and who want to come out and see you and want to support you. To be honest, I actually made a bit more money out in the Mission area. So I brought it to Coquitlam in the hopes that we'll be able to wrangle some of the people in this area to come out and see us.
Absolutely. Well, I think it is a first in this area, isn't it?
It is an absolute first in the Tri-Cities. The very first drag show to make it out to Coquitlam, Port Moody, and we've gotten quite a good response.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. And I mean, there are a lot of firsts in the Tri-Cities, I think, when it comes to the LGBTQ2+ community. We just started TriCities Pride, obviously, last year. So I think we've spoken about this in private, but do you want to tell the audience a little bit about how Spring Queening and TriCities Pride are hoping to work together?
Yeah, I was actually really happy when I first came to one of the coffee meetups that there was a Pride community, a Pride society being formed out in the Tri-Cities, and I've actually offered to do a fundraiser at Spring Queening. So I'm really excited to work with you in the future as well.
Well, as am I. I'm extremely excited to see what we can do going forward. So as far as drag is concerned, because drag is something that maybe a lot of our audience doesn't know about, do you want to tell us a little bit about why drag is important to you, and why you think it's important for people in the Tri-Cities as well?
Well, I think that drag is an art form that a lot of people don't understand exactly what it is. Obviously, people have seen TV shows or movies like The Birdcage, and they understand that it's men dressing as women or women dressing as men to perform, but it's far more than that. It's about gender expression and kind of playing with the idea of gender and allowing the world around you to kind of allow them in on that experience of what it is. For me, I mean, when I first started doing drag, I was brought into a community of additional drag queens that were very supportive, and I want to give that back to other individuals as well. I want to be able to give back the experience of learning what drag truly is.
Right, and do you feel that people are learning more about that through shows like RuPaul's Drag Race? Is that something that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that we were talking backstage before in regard to this idea that drag has been around for many years, and the idea that you can become quite famous within the drag community. You can be empress and princess, and you can travel the world. And you can go to a large city like New York or Toronto, and people still won't know who you are. And RuPaul's Drag Race has given this platform to a fairly small group of individuals, but very talented individuals, that you're on an episode for 2 or 3 episodes, and immediately you're skyrocketed, and everybody in the world knows who you are. And I find that extremely fascinating for our community, as well as for the mainstream communities.
Absolutely. Can you tell us where we can go to find tickets for the show or more information about the projects that you're working on?
Yeah, you can actually buy tickets through the Evergreen Cultural Center box office or on our website, Coquitlam Queens, which is a new website that we've just launched for the Tri-Cities and Fraser Valley Queens. We're going to be promoting a lot of what's going on in our area. Right now, it's pretty much primarily focused on spring queening and the merchandise that we're selling.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us in studio today. It was fantastic to have you.
Absolutely, as always.
And I really hope to check out the show for our viewers. March 24th is when spring queening is happening, so I encourage you to go out and buy tickets.